So unless the Democrats get to about 60 senators, it will be very hard for them to pass legislation without some Democratic support. And then you've got the blue states, which with very heavy pharma exposure. So Massachusetts, New Jersey, California, lots of employments, a lot of wealth have been created by the biotech industry in those states. And the notion is that when push comes to shove, some of those representatives and senators will not toe the sharpest line that Warren wants. On the other hand, if you get somebody like Bloomberg there or Biden, he probably will be able to pull some of those Republicans and Democrats that have supported more of a bipartisan bill in the Senate Finance Committee into the fold. So, Warren does have the extreme position and the sharpest voice, and there will probably be a point of scare in the drug industry if she looks like she's going to win. But if you actually look 2 or 3 years down the road, it is being able to create some sort of a agreement with the moderate Republicans that will allow somebody to actually pass legislation.
So the extreme position, which would do theoretically the most damage to the industry, would be off the table if an extreme Democrat were, and I use that in parentheses, in quotes, were elected, whereas a moderate one would in fact be able to get that piece of legislation through, and so there would be some damage.
That's right. So if you kind of look what happened already in Congress, they're all looking at the polls, and the polls tell them that 80% of the U.S. public wants some action by the government of going into drug pricing. As a matter of fact, the majority of Republicans, people that say that they will vote Republicans, want direct government intervention drug pricing. So even the Republicans know that something needs to be done, but they want to do it carefully without damaging the industry's position long term. And to do that, they were already willing to put some caps on price increases. They were already willing to have some of the payment for the donut holes to make the out-of-pocket costs lower for seniors come out of the pockets of the drug industry, and some other small issues that the drug industry does not love but is willing to live with. Now, we talk about a position that basically says, well, the government will negotiate drug pricing, and if you do not like our position negotiation, then we are going to, by decree, force you to either give up on your patents or somehow accept price that we want you, is not something the Republicans can live with. And frankly, if you're a representative from San Francisco or Boston, I don't see how you can accept that either. So my take is that is not going to happen, at least not while the
negotiability question. Negotiating drug prices through Medicare. So
negotiating drug prices hypothetically is possible, but it's got to be in a way that actually makes sense, okay? And even that is a pretty extreme position that a lot of Republicans will not take. But if you think about, look, we'll create some sort of a mechanism to determine what is the fair value of the drug to the patient, how much cost it saves elsewhere, and based on that, we'll determine some sort of a drug price. Doesn't make sense. If it's just one-way negotiation, my or the highway, well, we're still living in a democracy, and you cannot take somebody's product away just because you feel like you deserve it.